welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Rosie and today we're going to be looking around the fortress in Belgrade, Serbia. We went on a bit of a wild goose chase this morning looking for a certain bakery and it had been tagged on Google Maps as being quite close to us, so we walked about 15 minutes or something to get there. Turns out it wasn't there, it's like the other side of town where Sava Church is that we went to a couple of days ago. Long story short, went to a different place. I'll leave it linked below the name of it. It's on like the main touristy street, but it's basically a bakery. And we had two of the pies there. So we had one with cheese, one with meat, and then we also had like a bruschetta thing and some lemonade. And then I've just stopped at a place called Cookie something and got a cookie. I'm not going to eat it now, I'm going to eat it later, but I found it on Instagram like last week when we were in Germany and I was like, holy fucking shitballs, that looks so good. And it's one where people on Instagram like crack it in half and it's just such, like super liquidy inside. So they had chocolate chip flavour, which is what I went for. They also had pistachio. I think they had one that was black forest. Another one was like caramel and pecans or something like that. And then two other ones, I didn't really understand what he said. So I just went for the classic chocolate chip and I'll be eating that later. But yeah, today we are coming to the fortress. I think it might be free to get in like the grounds, but then you pay for certain things. I think there's like 5 things to do here, including a zoo, and I think maybe also like a military museum. So no idea, but we'll find out together. So we've already walked from down here and there's quite a few vendors selling like touristy things, you know, magnets, t-shirts, hats, that kind of thing. And then this is the current view this way. So there's a statue and I think the fortress is behind over there. There also happens to be a World Gastronomy Food Festival or something going on here. There's like a mini stage there and there's lots of like food people over there, but we've just eaten so we're not going to do that. Okay, so we're making our way to the Belgrade Fortress and wow, this place is seriously beautiful. It's one of the most historic spots in the city and has amazing views over the two rivers, the Sava and the Danube. You can actually see where they meet from up here, and it's such a peaceful place to walk around, especially at sunset. The fortress has been here for a really long time, like over 2,000 years. It was first built by the Romans, and then different empires rebuilt and changed it over time, including the Ottomans and the Austrians. So it's kind of like walking through layers of history. There are old stone walls, towers, gates, and even a military museum if you're into that. But even if you're not into history, it's still worth coming just for the views and the atmosphere. There's also a big park around it, which is perfect for a quiet walk or a picnic. It's free to visit, super easy to get to from the city centre, and definitely one of the best places we've seen in Belgrade so far. So here's a look at the map. The other day we walked all the way around the outside, so it's quite interesting now to see it from this point of view. Okay, first things first, I want to go and see the view because I think we're stood quite high and I think you get pretty good panoramic views over here. And then the next thing I want to do is eat my cookie before it explodes in my bag and makes a big mess. This is the current view though. You can see some of the old walls and it's actually so green when you look out over there. We were saying earlier, me and Jeremy, that the city itself isn't that green, especially compared to Germany. But actually, when you look at it like this, it's kind of very green. So I guess just the city itself isn't, but actually outside of the city it seems quite green. Let's go to this viewpoint. This is such a cool view. So obviously you can see the fortress on the right hand side here, some of the new buildings and parks and walkways. You can see the river Danube, and then I think this section is where the Sava meets the Danube. And we walked all the way around here the other day, so you can go and watch that vlog. I think it was the first one from being here. We went to the silo as well in the evening for drinks. It's a really cool view though. That is such a great view. And I think it's amazing that places like this are free to get in and open to the public. But then I think if you want to pay to see other specific things, you might have to pay to get in like certain exhibitions. Okay guys, there are lots of school kids here. Anyway, I wanted to sit down and eat my cookie before it explodes in my bag. I actually think this is going to be insane. If you can see that, it's like a big pie, like it's 3D. Oh my goodness. If I break it in half. Oh my god, look at that. That's insane. Holy shit, that should be illegal. That is so bloody good. This cost about €5. And it is delish. They had lots of different flavours. So the cookie place was called Cookie Beacon. Absolutely delicious, one of the best cookies I've ever had. Well worth it if you're ever in Belgrade, Serbia. We are now walking around. I'm absolutely stuffed, but I think we're just going to kind of walk around the grounds. I don't know if we're going to pay to get into things, probably not, but there's still really, really good views here. I'm currently just walking towards this statue thing of the fortress. What's the difference between fort and fortress, by the way? Does anybody know? Because I don't think I know that. There's Jeremy, and there's this big square here with a statue of somebody and views over the city. So here is my current view. Lots of the fortress here. You can see the building over there, which I think is the Belgrade Tower. And then we walked along here the other day when we did the whole loop. We walked all the way down there. It's a really cool view from up here though, because you're actually quite high above the city, like higher than I thought we would be. I don't think I quite realised how big it was, this place. And the garden's down there. And more of the walls and things. And here comes Jeremy. There's archery here. I don't know if you have to pay, and if you do, how much you have to pay. It says open for tourists. Guys, this is such a cool bar. I'm not sure if it's actually part of the fortress or if it's just outside. I don't know, but it's really cool. Lots of really nice comfy seats and obviously views of the fortress because it's literally just next to where we are. So cool. This small church is the church of Saint Petka inside the fortress walls. What's really unique here is the chandeliers, which are made out of bullet casings. It's such a powerful detail and a reminder of Serbia's history with war and conflict. The church itself is small, but really peaceful and beautiful, with colourful paintings on the walls and candles you can light. Even if you're not religious, it's definitely worth stepping inside just to see the chandeliers. Hi guys, you're going to have to excuse my appearance with my hair and things today, but it's about a week later and I wanted to come on here and talk to you a little bit about food in Belgrade, in particular a restaurant we went to called Ebisu, I think it's called. I'm going to put some pictures on screen just here and I'm currently looking at my phone pictures to be able to tell you about it, but it was really, really nice. So we celebrated our 10-year wedding anniversary and 15 years together towards the end of May, and we didn't do anything because we were in the middle of nowhere, Germany. So we decided to go out for a meal in Belgrade to celebrate. So we chose Ebisu, which is a Japanese place, and it was delicious. It was so, so good. We had salmon carpaccio to begin with and tuna tartare with truffle. Both were delish. We had a salad. I don't remember what the salad was. I didn't photograph that part of the menu. But we also had some maki, so we had shrimp tempura, spicy tuna and soft shell crab. Again, all of that was delicious. Jeremy had, I got a lemonade and Jeremy got a glass of whiskey or something for like 20 or 30 euros. We never usually go out for posh meals, so we thought we'd go all out and really just enjoy ourselves and get exactly what we wanted. And yeah, I'm so glad we did because it was so good. And then for dessert, Jeremy got a tropical summer, which was crunchy meringue, coconut tapioca pudding, cardamom pineapple and passion fruit sorbet. It was insane. And I got the vegan raspberry, which was chocolate brownie, cassis raspberry jelly, chocolate foam and a raspberry sorbet. Again, that was delicious as well. That was at Square 9 Hotel, and yeah, it was just so, so good. And I just wanted to come on here and sort of mention that and give it a bit of a shout out because we both really enjoyed the food and we both love our Japanese food. So it was really good. We then walked down the sort of main street in Belgrade and went to Harat, which is an Irish pub, and they had a band playing, which was really good as well. It was like rock and roll music, so we sat and had a pint and yeah, just really enjoyed that. So I wanted to make sure that I put that on here at the end of the video. We really enjoyed Belgrade, would 100% recommend, would 100% go back. I actually would like to go back and see more of the city. I think a week is probably the right amount of time. I think you probably could go for 4 or 5 days if you wanted to, but because we both obviously work online as we're travelling, it was nice to have some time to work as well in between sort of visiting. Definitely worth going to though, really enjoyed it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!